Welcome to this message of encouragement. Today I wanted to talk about a video that Jason DeFord, stage name Jelly Roll, has done, and how he is depicting Jesus in such an absurd, bizarre manner. But before I get started, I always like to ask those of you who are watching to please remember to pray for other people. Pray for those that's lost a loved one, those that are sick, those that are facing surgeries. Please pray for our nation's leaders and those in positions of authority. And also, please pray for the nation of Israel. The Bible says those who bless the nation of Israel will be blessed, and those who curse the nation of Israel will be cursed. So I wanted to talk today about Jason DeFord, stage name Jelly Roll. The music industry has set this gentleman high upon a pedestal, and I wanted to critique this video that he's done depicting, Jesus in this absurd, just bizarre manner. And like I said, the music industry has just set this, he's a convicted felon, just set him high upon a pedestal. And he has just this enormous fan base now, and he's, the way he's depicting, Jesus, it would really turn a lot of people off to reaching out to God, especially those that are lost, those that are in desperation. His music and all, like I said, would just, like some of the words to his music says, like, I'm hopeless, I'm a hopeless case, I'm a lost cause, things like that. And that would actually, steer people that would normally cry out to God. It sort of, lead them away from God. And so, that's kind of, what I wanted to show you in this video, and how he is, in his mind, what he thinks Jesus is. And it is, like I said, it's bizarre, it's absurd. It's just, I don't know. He's really got a lot of problems, I think. So let's look at his video now.
Jesus is going to die all over again if they don't find a way to portray him the way he was historically known to be. If you look at the history facts of Jesus, which I think favor Christianity in this weird way, that dude is not the dude y'all have turned him into.
The first thing that I want to say, about his video here, he's calling Jesus that dude, and this, that, and the other. He shows no reverence to God. He doesn't, show, Jesus is holy and he's righteous. And, like I said, this guy's calling him a dude, and just, the way he's talking about, Jesus, like, he's just down on rock bottom, with this guy, Jason DeFord, or Jelly Roll.
The same people that you were like criticizing and going against are the only people that Jesus had a relationship with in the Bible. So
Jelly Roll is saying that the only people that Jesus had a relationship with, a relationship, is people like him, those that are down and out, just the scum of the earth, so to speak. And that's not what Jesus was doing. Yes, he reached out, to sinners. That's what he told the Pharisees and the scribes. He wasn't there for the people that obeyed the law. He was there for sinners. That's why he was eating a meal with the sinners. He was trying to reach the sinners, to save the sinners. And like I said, this Jelly Roll is portraying Jesus is just hanging around with just the scum of the earth, just nothing better to do but just hang around with the low life. That's the way, I'm taking it from this video.
He did nothing but protect town whores, prostitutes, people in jail. Like the famous story of the throwing stones, let he who without sin cast his first stone. He was protecting a prostitute.
So Jelly Roll here is talking about saying that Jesus was protecting prostitutes, was protecting whores, was protecting criminals. And using the example of the lady that was caught in the act of adultery that was brought to him, and the Pharisees and scribes said, well, under the law of Moses, she's supposed to be stoned. What do you say? But he wasn't protecting her. What he was trying to do was to save her, was to show these people that, that they were wrong. They didn't have forgiveness or love in their heart, and he was showing them that they were sinners. You know, he that is without sin cast the first stone, but he wasn't protecting this lady. What he was doing was he was trying to save her, and once you know, her you know, the people were gone, had left, you know, he told her sins were forgiven. It was all about saving her, not protecting her. He wasn't protecting anybody. It was about salvation and justification.
But then somebody like my wife's the first person I watch those kind of Christian women persecute. It's like, man, that's the opposite of what that dude was doing. So that's my problem with the church.
And he goes on to say, well, that his wife, you know, she's being persecuted by other Christians. Well, I mean, you have to, I'll show you a picture of her. I mean, she's got these long fingernails. It looks like almost like animal claws. Her fingernails look like animal claws, and she just looks like the world. He does too. And like I said, you know, these two are professing Christians. They are claiming Christ, but they're not showing you know, the fruits of the Spirit. I mean, they're not. They're showing you the world, that they are the world. They are worldly. That they think and act and do, and you know, everything is about the world to them. It's not about salvation and righteousness and holiness to these two. So yes, people, I'm sure, are talking about them. Because like I said, even the words in his songs, you know, are leading young people away from the Lord versus to the Lord. And they're, like I said, making this guy to be like some kind of gospel country singer with his Whitsitt Chapel album on his Back Road Baptism tour or something. I mean, they're trying to portray him as some sort of Christian, but I don't believe that he is. He's not, you know, living the life or the lifestyle of someone, you know, who is saved, who is seeking, like I said, to live a life of righteousness and holiness, a life that would be pleasing unto the Lord. So we'll finish listening to the video.
This dude ran around with 12 thugs.
So then Jason DeFord, or Jelly Roll, he goes on to say that Jesus' disciples were 12 thugs. Jesus' disciples were 12 thugs in this gentleman's mind. In this gentleman's mind, Jesus' disciples were just thugs. Thugs are criminals. Thugs don't have jobs. You know, thugs are about the lowest form of life, the way that, you know, people look upon them. The disciples were working class men. They were workers. You know, and they knew the law, so they followed the Jewish tradition. So, you know, they weren't criminals. That they were not thugs. Like this guy has it in his mind that they were thugs. Like I said, you know, these were working class men. And then, like I said, Jason has it in his mind that, you know, Jesus, if he was here today, would be on, he says, on an effing Harley and going to a bar. And I mean, you know, come on now. I mean, like I said, this guy, he really, you know, he's really got a mindset that just does not, you know, portray Jesus in a way that Jesus, you know, should be portrayed. He does not know the Bible. He's been to church. He knows just enough to be dangerous, you know, in you know how he's portraying Jesus to other people. He's actually, it would be a strong influence to lead the younger generation away from Jesus and not to Jesus. Or he sounds like he's been listening to these false teachers online or on the television, you know, that preach about prosperity, and they give all these false descriptions of Jesus, and that's what this guy's doing. And like I said, you know, the influence, you know, that this Jelly Roll has on a generation, the way that the music industry's got him, you know, high upon this pedestal, and, you know, with all these, you know, they're promoting him and you know, his music, and like I said, you know, he's just one of those that would just pull the younger generation away from the Lord versus leading people to the Lord. So I hope this message has been encouraging to you. I hope that it has been uplifting to you. I hope that you you know, realize, like Jesus said, that there are false teachers out in the world. There are those that try to portray Jesus in a manner that is not, you know, it's not his character, it's not his nature, but people want to make you believe that because that's their belief in their mind. They want you to believe the same thing, and it's not true. God bless. Stay safe.